Strategy and Design here again for Web Strategy Wednesdays number 12. And I am happy to say that I've gotten some feedback. Thank you for watching and thank you for sharing that with me. I've gotten some feedback that folks would like me to spend a little bit more time going in depth with my answers and, get more of a one-on-one feel with me. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch the format up. Instead of 5 questions, I'm going to answer 1 question really in depth for you, okay? So here we go. Let's start right on in with Shell, who asks, Dr. Lisa, I've had a brick and mortar retail boutique for about 6 years. Congrats. We are ready to update our website and expand our reach into social media to connect better with our customers. How do we create a plan of attack? Well, the first thing is, yes, you definitely need a plan. You don't want to just get on everything and go all willy-nilly. The first thing you want to do is understand, and I'm sure you do by now, where your customers are and where they hang out, who they are, what they're doing, and where they're spending their time when they're online. Because you want to connect with your current customers first so they can spread the word about you to their friends and share you around the world. Okay? So you want to talk about the human things that are happening in the shop. What's happening that you want to share? Now, I don't just mean sales. Sale is a little boring. We want to know, did an associate just get married? Did they graduate? Did they have a baby? What's happening in your life that's important, that relates to your business, that affects how you run your business? What's important to you? What's your mission? We want to know that about you, and you want to share that, not all at once, of course, but as the day-to-day goes on through your various channels. And you also want to think about how much time you're willing to invest in your online presence. Now, if you've got the shop running smoothly now, certainly you can manage this yourself, or you might want to consider having an associate or hiring an intern whose only job is going to be managing your social media presence. Especially in the beginning. This does not need to be a full-time job, but it should be a focused job, because what you're going to want to have happen is that person's going to respond to inquiries that come in. A person's going to monitor your website contact form for inquiries and respond promptly to those emails. You don't want people to think that your contact form is a black hole. You also want to make sure that what you're communicating is the actual voice of your business and not the voice of the associate or the intern. And this person has to be very, very in tune with you and what you want to have happen and the story you want to tell about your business. So make sure that you train them well, give them some guidelines for what they should and should not share, should and should not respond to, and make sure that that person really understands what you're trying to accomplish with your online presence. Okay? Then you want to make sure that your planning and the goals that you set also translate into your website. That means talking to your designer about what your goals are, what you're trying to accomplish, so they understand what sort of usability you need, what functionality you need, and how to make that site reflect who your business is as an entity. Okay? So then you want to show off your local flavor. You've got your site updated, you've got your social media plan down. Let's get you online. Let's get you sharing. So as a brick and mortar business, you have a unique opportunity to be a destination. That means that you want to make sure that you're using all of your local social media options like Google Places, Foursquare, Yelp. Those are going to be your main ones because that's where your local customers are likely to be sharing about you every day. Folks will be checking in on Foursquare. You might want to offer an incentive to check in because that check-in, of course, gets shared across the board. That goes to Twitter and Facebook and their other social media and some of their other social media outlets. So you want to make sure that you're giving them opportunities to share in a number of ways. You also might consider an Instagram contest of folks wearing what they bought and showing off their style. That engages them and gives them a reason to share their life story with your other customers. And that's really going to get you going and get your name out there. So you want to make sure that you've got your social media profiles up to date and all sharing in the same voice, as I said before. Okay? Next up, you might want to consider a local experiential event. Some boutiques offer, if they've got enough room, offer their location as an event space for, like-minded organizations that serve their target audience. So you might consider, depending on the age group and demographic of your particular customers, you might consider a women's group of various meetups that need a place to meet that are going to get them into your shop for an extended period of time and talking to them and relating with them. Okay? Don't forget the pictures. You always need pictures. And of course, Twitter, Facebook, and the standards, you'll need just to have that presence available and easily searchable. Okay? And then finally, you want to maximize your time. You don't want to, as I said, you don't want to turn your social media presence into a full-time job. You've got a business to run, right? So you want to make sure that you take the time to plan what's going to happen. You know your yearly calendar. You know what's important. So you can start scheduling posts as far out as you need to so that you can have that momentum going, and in case there's a day that you forget to add a little bit more, that the next day's content is going to be coming. Okay? You can schedule your Facebook posts. You can schedule your Twitter posts with various tools like Hootsuite, and Facebook itself allows you to schedule a post from your Facebook page. So there are tools out there to help you maximize your time without slaving away at your social media. We don't want you. It's not supposed to feel like more work. It's a way for you to connect better with your customers, right? Okay. Now, one warning here: don't share the same content everywhere all the time. Now, with things like Instagram and Pinterest, those shares will probably be going to a variety of places. But for example, you don't want to have your blog posts also be your Facebook posts, also be all of your Twitter posts. Okay, you want to make sure that you're differentiating that content to fit the medium. Okay, so keep that in mind as well. And use an editorial calendar for your blog posts. You don't want to be sitting there at like 5 a.m. What am I going to write about? Give yourself a break and schedule out your posts, as I said, according to your calendar for the year, so that you know that in March, for example, it's Women's History Month. What are you going to share for March? And so on and so forth. And your blog posts can be weekly, they can be monthly, depending on your particular audience and your time schedule. Your social media should not be running you. You run it, okay? Or them. All right? So to wrap up, first, make sure you have a plan and make sure you communicate that plan to everyone involved. That means your social media manager, your web designer, and of course your team. Show off your local flavor. Make sure that you are active in the local social media outlets and showing off what you uniquely have to offer. And finally, maximize your time. Use it wisely and make sure that you have exactly what you need available to you and your team. All right, Shell, good luck. Let me know how things are going. And I saw some things that I like, so make sure that you share that with me. And if you'd like to send me your question, email me at wsw@youcanflow.com. Facebook me at facebook.com/youcanflow. And tweet me at Dr. Lisa WP. And let's get you going on your web strategy and moving forward with profit. Have a great week. See you next time.